Hi, welcome to PHOTONewsTV. I'm your host Will, and we're talking about the Metz BL200 and BL400 studio kits. These great little kits, we've talked about the features of them, we've talked about setup, how to sync them to your camera. Last episode was all about the accessories Metz offers to open up some new doors for you. So today we're going to talk about some troubleshooting tips, because there's things that have popped up. Customers email or phone all the time looking for ways to get around some common situations. So I'm going to cover them in this video, and hopefully that will answer your questions. Let's dive right in here. So troubleshooting with the Cactus, there are some pretty simple things. When you have it on camera, first make sure it's on there good and solid and you've tightened it down. You also want to make sure that that light on both units goes orange when you lightly press the button and goes green. If everything's going green and your Metz strobes aren't firing, check the cord to make sure that it's plugged in and it's not kinked. It is possible for these cords to break down. They do have a copper or some copper wire inside, which over time is going to break down. So it could be that that wire is damaged. Because they use the same plug on both ends, you can unplug them. Let's get rid of the elastic here and switch them around. And then you can test and see if that works. Probably the most common issue I've run across with the Cactus V5s is with the little dial on the side. And it's got some numbers on it, and a lot of people aren't too sure about why those numbers. So those are channel selectors, and both your transmitter and your receiver have to be in the same channel. So if I'm in one on camera, and any of the blue numbers on the receiving unit, it'll fire. And that's a unique feature of the V5, that it has 5 channels. This opens up some creative opportunities if you've got multiple Cactus and strobes and speed lights and you're mixing and matching gear. But as long as you're on 1 here and any of the blue numbers 1 to 5 on here, they'll fire. If this is on any number other than 1, now they have to match, and you can see I am pressing and the light's green here, but there's no light on here. Now the numbers have to match, and this is the key thing. So my receiver's on 5, my transmitter goes on 5, and now we're working again. This happens more often than not with the Cactus triggers, with any trigger really, because people can easily bump the numbers. So if I set 1 to 10, then I'll set the other one on 10, and away we go. So just make sure those two numbers match, and life is good. And that's about the only troubleshooting that you've got with the Cactus system. So just make sure all those numbers match up. The reason for the channels is you can have multiple photographers all using Cactus gear, V5s, V6s, V6.2s. And if you each have your own channel, and there's 16 channels, then you're not going to interfere with each other's units, except for the one on Servo. This one will fire no matter what flash it detects from anywhere, so you want to be careful about placement. And speaking of placement, one of my tips there is I normally put the unit that's closest to camera on the Cactus. So if I'm going to have my strobe a little bit closer with the softbox, then the umbrella unit is going to be positioned or will be set to Servo. Now, there's a little red plastic area on the top of all of these strobes. That's your optical light sensor for Servo mode. So that has to be pointed somewhere where it will pick up the light coming from here. Now, right now I'm in a small enough space that it's able to detect the light bouncing. If I turn this around and block the sensor, then it may not fire. No, it's still detecting it. Small studio space, probably bouncing off the roof. If I cover it, yeah. So if I cover this, it's not going to fire. As soon as I remove my hand, it's now detected the light and everything syncs again. So bear that in mind when you're placing your unit with the Cactus, that you've got whichever one is set to Servo, the optical sensor can see the other light. The other option is you can buy a third Cactus and plug it in. So you could have a Cactus V5 on each one and everything fires. You don't have to worry about servo mode or interfering with anybody else. It's all going to be one closed system. So that's always a thought. The kits right now only come with the Cactus Duo, so you get two. So third ones are pretty reasonably priced. You can find those at any of your, or most of your local retailers. If you've got any questions, comments, please leave them down below. Show us a little bit of love and click the like button. And I'll see you next episode. Happy shooting.